me ask you this. Is it just my imagination, or are we seeing a lot more of Bill Shorten lately?
Well, yeah. So there's been a little bit more of Bill. He's been conveniently made himself very available to the media as a local member of parliament from Victoria. He's made himself available to the breakfast TV shows. He's made himself available to Q&A. He's made himself available to insiders. And look, let's just be honest. I mean, when you start doing breakfast television, you never have an ulterior motive. No former leader has ever tried to do the breakfast television circuit.
Hang on,
I'm
Sam,
just
aren't
wondering,
you
have you
doing the
checked your
Today
email? I'm
Show at the
surprised he's
moment?
not on the show here.
Aren't
Well,
you
I'm a bit worried he's going to get me dumped from this spot. You know? You've had me for a couple of
No.
weeks. Former politicians, like former leaders, like former television hosts, like former producers, like former reality television contestants, never stop being that. Right? There is the high, the adrenaline, the excitement, and there is certainly a part of every former leader I've ever met. And I think the same is in other industries, be it sport or whatever. Always wants that feeling of running back onto the field. Always wants the feeling
Now,
of being on top again. And look, you don't stay in federal parliament for no reason. You don't stay just to see out your term. If that was what Bill was doing, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of parliamentarians who have been leader, lost the leadership, see out the end of that term with a view to retiring at the next election. They don't want to cause a costly by-election, and they kind of fade away. This is not Bill Shorten fading away. Bill never gives up. Bill's not a guy who gives up, and you know, you'd have to be a fool to not think of the fact that this is a guy who has always harboured ambitions to be prime minister. And why would he give them up now?
No, that's a big
now,
call.
Sam, I've got to ask you. I've got lots of whispers. I've got lots of ears and mouths in Canberra. They're telling me that he is actually running the numbers and has begun that kind of thing to knife Albo. Your thoughts on that? Is this a case of, though, you've
No,
had a couple of goes,
no,
get out of it?
no. Look, I think the Labor Party leadership. The Labor Party rules have been changed. Becoming leader by removing another leader after the Kevin Rudd rule changes is near impossible. I mean, there is a pathway to doing it. It's near impossible. I think that in this kind of political environment, in a COVID situation, to be accused of that, I think is. I just don't think that's the game he'd be playing. Oh, Bill's smarter than that. But would someone
So
like
he'll
Bill?
see out an election, will he, Sam? He'll see out an election.
Well,
Albo loses,
Bill's
then
not
he'll
going anywhere,
challenge.
right? Bill's in his early 50s. That's not young, right? Just remember, he's 20 years younger than Trump and Biden and others, right? 20 years younger than them, right? He's not old. He's a young man still. He's in federal parliament. He has an incredibly large profile. I just don't think he's going anywhere. Do I believe that Bill Shorten is sitting there doing the numbers with a plot to immediately become leader of the Labor Party again? No. No, I don't think that's what he's doing. But do I think that Bill, long term, can, should, and will one day be Prime Minister of Australia? Sure. Yes. I thought he should be Prime Minister the last election. I thought he should be Prime Minister before that. But Anthony Albanese is the leader. He will stay the leader. He will go to the next election. And I actually suspect that there's a lot of kind of rallying behind the leader that comes after these types of national crises. And I'm not here to kind of criticise the Morrison government. I have plenty of places to do that. But I think Anthony Albanese is going to do far better in the election than some of the polls are predicting. But do I believe that Bill's going anywhere? No, Bill's staying.
Now, Sam, I just want to quickly ask you. Obviously, Bill Shorten was in charge of the Labor Party when he decided to let you go of the Senate. I think it's quite nice. Why do you still give him that kind of support and that kind of idea that
it's not about
he's
support.
one shouldn't?
Frankly, a couple of different things here, right? I mean, I'm giving a frank political analysis, and this is the cut through the BS. The cut through the BS here is that former leaders of political parties, when they stay in Parliament with a high profile, stay for a reason. That conversation, and I actually called Bill, and I said to Bill, it was immediately before I resigned from politics. I said to Bill, I go, "Am I dead?" And Bill goes, "Mate, you were dead 72 hours ago." And I said to him, "Mate, I'll make it easy. I'll pull the pin." And it was one of those very kind conversations where I didn't want, and Bill, I think, didn't want. Well, firstly, he couldn't shoot me. Just the way that Parliament works, I was elected. But I clearly had become a distraction. And you got to accept sometimes, there are things that are bigger than you. And if you believe in political causes or political parties, you're not bigger than the show. The Labor Party was always, better to me than I was the Labor Party, so I was always indebted to it. And I thought, frankly, getting out of the way would help give them more clear air going for the last federal election. Now, in hindsight, they lost that anyway. But at the time, it didn't look like that was the case. The Black Labor had a really good, was going to win the election. And it is what it is.
Well, Sam, I was just going to say to you, do you know why Bill Shorten never became the Prime Minister?
Well, he didn't win an election. I think that's how the numbers work.
No, it's because, hey, you ruined it. You ruined it, Sam. It's because he always came up short. Come on. What's going on?
All right, Sam, before we let you go, I think
Yeah.
Bill Shorten was sometimes accused of not coming across with the personality of a great leader sometimes. But
Yep.
there's one moment when he appeared on Studio 10, that will forever be in my mind.
Is this
Let's have a look.
Have you got the footage?
Yeah, let's have a look.
How's it going?
Okay,
It's
play.
going. Here it is.
It may just be at Frankfurt. It's never happened before. Sam,
Back when the show was watchable.
Sam,
Go ahead,
when he
sorry.
came
What was
on-
that show? I'm not familiar with that show. Does it exist?
not
No,
anymore.
not anymore.
Sam, when he came on, he said to me that morning, "You're not going to lose me the election, are you?" And I said, "No,
Yeah.
I think this will help you win it." But obviously, I was wrong.
Well, no, the
Sam,
thing that happens is, the thing that does happen though, and this is the big problem, when you're on top and when it looks like you're going to win, all your minders, everyone starts telling you, play it down, don't take risks,
Yeah.
don't be yourself, and you get this whole very minded culture. And I think, unfortunately for Bill, a little bit of an, I don't want to use a kind of lame West Wing quote, but let Bill be Bill.
Yeah.
Because Bill is actually quite funny. He's hilarious.
We
He's
saw
got a
that.
great personality.
he was
But
fantastic
there's a
that
natural
morning.
tendency. Well, there's a natural tendency to try and play everything down and not take risks and kind of sit on a lead. And again, the Trumps and that of the world showed that authenticity pays huge dividends, even when people don't like or agree with you.
Yes.
Talking to someone who would hate everything that someone like Donald Trump would stand for, but not even I can pretend that he's not genuine.
Absolutely. Sam, we love your insight. Thank you very much. I look forward to
Thank
seeing you
you.
next week.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Sam.
Talk to you next week. Bye.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.